Heidi ho! Wait, maybe if I add in Heidi ho, neighbor? What's up, all you cool cats and kittens? What's up? Hey now, I've got to figure out a better way to open these videos. It's terrible. It's not good. I never know how to open these videos. Like, everybody starts off with what's up or hey or how you doing or some like other cool creative way, and I gotta get better at this. But welcome to the video. This is going to be about how to do streaming at 1080. How can you do it with really good equipment? I don't have the best equipment, but I've got some pretty nice stuff. I'm gonna show you how I do it with my temporary setup. None of my stuff is set up permanently. I don't have a cool room or cool office or like a media room. I don't have this like super awesome, powerful PC, but I'm gonna show you how I do it with a MacBook Pro with a temporary setup and how I move everything around. So stay tuned. We're gonna use OBS, we're gonna use Elgato, we're gonna use MacBook Pro. I'm gonna show you how I do it, and hopefully it'll help you out. All right, if you've watched any of my other videos, the other one about how to stream on a low-end computer, you know that my setup is temporary. So I live in a home with 3 other humans, my wife and 2 teenage boys. I don't have room for a cool media room or a cool computer room or stream room. Everything that I do is actually set up right here in my living room. This means it's gotta be portable, it's gotta be easy to set up, it's gotta be easy to take down, I gotta be able to store it away because it just can't stay set up all the time. If you have a place that you can stay set up all the time, then lucky you, because your stuff is gonna be way easier. You won't have to go through this rigmarole like I do every single time. But I'm gonna show you how I do it with a brand new MacBook Pro, a 2019 MacBook Pro. We're gonna roll some footage and show you what this beauty looks like. This is a big monster of a computer. It was a pretty big investment. I made it because I am doing a lot of streaming, both here for our community at Grown Folks Online Community. It's a gaming PlayStation community, and in my other world that I have of both being a national training director and being a pastor. We're doing a ton of streaming, especially during COVID-19, and so I made the investment. I'm making videos in After Effects, I'm making videos in Premiere, I'm making stuff in Photoshop, I'm doing streaming. I needed to upgrade. It had been 7 years, and so we made a pretty big investment into this bad boy, and because of that, I can now do some super cool new things, and I'm still tinkering, I'm still learning, I'm all self-taught, and I'm gonna show you a bunch of stuff that I've learned over the last 4 years or 5 years of streaming, and all of our other tips and tricks. So here's what you're going to need. You're gonna need a pretty powerful computer. Again, everything I do is mobile and temporary. I do everything on a laptop. I've been MacBook and laptop for 10 years now, and so everything I have is pretty mobile and easy, but you're gonna need some type of powerful computer. I'll show you the specs of my new MacBook Pro. You can even go watch another video that I'm gonna put out about unboxing this new MacBook Pro. You're gonna need some type of table or way to kind of set up your MacBook or your laptop or your computer, whatever. It needs to be stable. If you're using a laptop, it needs to be plugged into a power source whenever you're streaming. I use Elgato. I am a massive fan of Elgato. I do think it's the best of the streaming stuff out there. If you're going to make an investment, if you're gonna be a streamer, go ahead and buy Elgato. I personally think you should just buy their Stream Deck. I think you should buy their Capture Card. You should get anything Elgato because it's really, really good stuff. And the stuff just works, and if it works and it's easy to use and it's super user friendly, then why not pay a few extra dollars to get the really good stuff? So you're gonna need an Elgato Capture Card. I use an S60 or an HD60S, and then I also use a male-to-male adapter. So it plugs into the Elgato Capture Card and into my computer. I'm also hardwired. You should be hardwired. Again, we talked about this in the other video, but your internet is the highway that you're trying to drive this car down. And if you don't have good internet, it's like being on a muddy dirt road. You might have a Ferrari, but it doesn't matter. You're not gonna be able to get down there pretty fast. So your hardware is one setup. You actually need the internet, the highway to be open for you. I'm lucky, we've got pretty good internet here. I used to get 300 down and 30 up. I just recently upgraded. I think I get 35 to 40 up now, and somewhere between 600 and 1,000 down. So I've got plenty of speed for me to be able to do all of the things that I want to do. So you need to be hardwired so that you get that good, stable internet and you don't have to worry about it. And then I also use OBS. Now on my old little MacBook, I had to use the Elgato software, game capture software. I've got to be able to go back to OBS now because I've got the power to push OBS. And OBS is just a magnificent software. It opens so many doors. You can do so many cool things with it. I've just begun to scratch the surface of what OBS allows you to do. And if you've got an even bigger PC with better graphics cards and a better processor, even than what my big MacBook Pro has, because it is still a laptop and it is going to be limited in just the fact that it's a laptop, you can do even more than I can do. I'm not too limited, but I am limited in some ways, but I can still go 1080, I can still do 60 frames per second, I can still do cool animated overlays. I'm gonna show you how I do all of that. And then of course you're gonna need some type of mic setup. You're gonna need Twitch or YouTube or Mixer. You're gonna need some type of software to actually stream to. Again, if you wanna see how to use 2 microphones, if you're on PlayStation like I have to use, then go watch my other video. If I need to make another video on just the microphone and the audio issue, which literally took me like a month and a half to figure out. I tried 100 different setups. Let me know in the comments. I'll make another video just to show you how to do that. But 2 microphones, one for your party audio, one for your streaming audio, so that everyone can hear everyone and you can make sure that you're broadcasting all of the different things. So here's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna come and show you my actual setup. It is temporary. It's gotta be movable, so keep that in mind. It's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be fancy. It's in my living room. I make the best of what I got. If you've got a super cool room, which I will have here one day soon, then you are gonna have a slightly different setup, but at the end of the day, we all get to the same point. If you have your own dedicated room, your stuff's gonna be a little bit more stable, maybe a whole lot cooler to look at. My backdrop is just my little art wall that we've got here, so I'm kind of limited on the cool factor that I can have. When we come back, I'll show you all those different little pieces, all the ways that I actually stream in 1080p with OBS and using my new MacBook Pro. All right, you can see my setup here. It's, again, temporary, but this is my old MacBook right here with my Bluetooth headphones. Let me show you how I connect this. So just turn them on. It's already pre-set up. You're gonna see it come up here on my little Samsung TV. Let me see if I can get it to focus here for you. Just hit connect. And so now all of my audio from my TV, if I were watching regular TV, PlayStation, doesn't matter. It's going through my headphones. My volume's all the way down on my TV. This is my second mic. The gray one is my old podcast mic. Here's the USB. Just plug it straight into the PlayStation. That's my little case that I have with fans and whatnot for my PlayStation. And it will register that microphone is now picking up audio and transmitting all the audio. So everything is going to that microphone. I'm going to turn on the controller here. Going to go over to settings. Down to devices, audio devices, and you can see that my microphone is now picked up. So what you see there is this gray microphone. It's my second microphone. It's both the input and the output. So we're going to change the output back to TV so that now everything goes through my headphones. So if you could hear my headphones right now, it's all of the audio going through those headphones with the mic being the input device. So we're going to go to a party chat and show you that the party chat is working with the second mic. So if I were in a party chat, this is all my friends. They could hear me through this mic, but no one on the stream could hear this mic. So this mic has no filters. Of course, it's got the normal filters, but it's got nothing else on because it's not running through a software. Everything's being picked up there. So let me show you the rest of the setup here. Audio is fixed. Everything is nice and neat. So this is my old laptop. It runs my Twitch. That's my ring light. This is my camera. It's a Logitech 950 or something like that. My Cox cable box, hardwired in. So this is my little adapter from my new MacBook Pro. The switch, watch the old video if you want to know more about that. And then my HD60S Elgato Capture Card. Again, all of it running to my adapter, plugged into my MacBook Pro which is running OBS. So this is running the actual software. Here we go. We're back on the new MacBook Pro. And so this is doing a screen recording. So you're going to see a weird angle because that's my stream camera over there. So normally when I'm streaming, I'm facing this way and the camera's over there, but you're seeing it through OBS, and actually have to look at my computer. So you're going to be able to see a weird angle of me while I do this. Let me just pause real quick. I said this in the other video, but if you have a MacBook, I strongly encourage you to go get Clean My Mac. This is a super amazing software. What I love about it is this memory scrub right here. You hit free up memory. It goes through your computer. It scrubs free as much memory as it can. And within just a few seconds, it can lighten the load on your computer, give you more memory to play with, and you just have more ways to keep your computer running smooth and cool and not having a tremendous load on it. I love this free app. It just because it's freeing up RAM, right? It's like, oh yeah, let's turn off the Elgato Capture Card, and oh no, we got to turn it back on. So just right there, I went from 3 to 16 gigabytes of free RAM or memory, sorry. And so I just love this app. It also keeps it clean, keeps it running effective. Go pay the $35 like I did and get the software. So again, I'm using an Elgato Capture Card. With OBS, you have to have a software called OBS Link. It's free. OBS is a free software. And then, of course, I talked about this in my other video, but go get Stream Deck. It's $25 a year. You can buy an actual Stream Deck. They're like $100 to $150. They're kind of expensive, but they're pretty amazing. It's just a really amazing software. The software runs here, of course, on your computer. It takes some setting up and some getting used to. And it took me, I don't know, a day to kind of set it up exactly how I want and create the logos and everything. But what you'll see here, I'm going to show it on my phone. So what you see right here on my computer, you minimize after you set that up, and you get the app on your phone. So now whenever I push buttons like this one, that's what happens, right? And so I can just push a button and the scene will change. It's a pretty amazing software. I love it. It's worth $25 a year. If you're going to be a streamer and be serious, it's so much easier to use that than trying to pay attention to your computer. Again, this computer here is my big MacBook Pro. We'll throw some footage up. I'll do an unboxing video and talk about my new MacBook Pro. I love it. It does some weird stuff too, but this thing is a monster. It just does some pretty amazing stuff. My little MacBook is over here. I use that for my chat, so it runs my Twitch setup. I can make a video on that as well. If you guys need help, just let me know in the comments. Don't want to make videos just to make videos, but you definitely show you exactly how I use that Twitch app. But I run my Twitch chat over here, my Twitter, my Discord. So that runs on a separate PC. This one here is hardwired in. I turn off the Wi-Fi. I'm straight hardwired, and it is strictly running the software with nothing else. I come over here. I turn on Do Not Disturb so no one bothers me, and emails pop up and all these other crazy things. So here's what we're running. We're running the Elgato software with the Elgato Stream Link. That link right here is what capture cards your capture card over to OBS. And OBS is pretty simple to use. Now, this is all kind of set up. You can see I've actually set up different scene collections for the different games that I play, because every one of them is slightly different. All right, post-production Nate here, really quick. I've actually changed some of this and went to one scene collection with a bunch of different scenes set up in it, and just set up the Stream Deck to go to each of those scenes. Just a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to use, a little bit easier to find everything that you need. It's kind of helped me with some of the crashes that happen with OBS. So I can make another film if we need to, but just a little post edit that has kind of changed. The whole stream has changed over the last month. I've been really working at completely changing the way it looks. So we can do another one later and show the way we've made those changes and why we've made those changes. But one of the big changes here is that I actually don't have all those scenes anymore and just have them all in one collection, just a bunch of different scenes. And with the Elgato Stream Deck, I'm able to kind of use all the ones I need. So one quick edit. And then what you see here on the actual overlay, so this is the actual screen of what your people will see, is an animated chat box, or not chat box, cam box. My camera, which is this camera over here that I showed you guys just a little while ago. And then the overlay itself is just a little graphic that I put down here of the PUBG. This comes from a browser source, both of these. That's the Twitch viewers that are watching. I'm not streaming right now, of course. That is my PUBG current stats that come from a PUBG website. And then these are all the different scenes that I have set up for just PUBG. So there is my opening scene, which is just a copyright scene. That's my transition. Again, I bought a little package that was like, I don't know, 30 bucks that came with a bunch of these animated transitions and cam box. You can buy those things if you want, or you can just make them yourself. There's tons of videos on how to do that. I use Photoshop, Premiere, and After Effects, so the Adobe suite, to make all of my stuff. So I always start off with this. I have a second stream, which is my stream starting. This is something new that I can do here. Of course, when I do this, I always mute the audio, so you actually can't hear anything coming from my computer while I'm playing. This is playing music. You can see the audio box right here. You can't hear it because it's being sent straight to the stream, but this is playing music in the background, and it's a way to get people excited about the stream. This is in 1080. It's all set up. People know, oh, 5 minutes till it starts. It gives you time to kind of get everything ready, make sure everything's ready to go, give people time to start tuning into the stream, and get people ready to watch the stream. On here, I've just kind of set up these really neat things that you can see: how to follow us on Twitch, how to follow our website, follow us on Twitter, and follow us on YouTube. And I just kind of added those in as extra graphics that I made, and just kind of overlaid them on top. There are some other programs out there called Streamlabs and Stream Elements. I've been a Streamlabs person, but I'm slowly moving over to Stream Elements. It seems to be a little bit more professional. You do a little bit more cool things with it. The problem is there tends to be some little hiccups with Mac. So I'm having a few little issues. So I haven't been able to fully jump over, but I am slowly migrating over. You can actually use those to set up these entire streams as a HTML browser source. And so as you set them up on their website, it gives you a link. You would come down here, hit add, hit browser source. You would create a browser. You would enter that browser source HTTPS here, whatever size it is, the frames per second, and hit OK, and it would actually give you whatever that browser source is. So my next one is just my opening video. So when I click that, again, I'm doing this on my phone. It will do the transition. It'll start playing the video. This video too has music. I've made all of these videos in Premiere, made them as an MP4, and then used a piece of software right here that I use called Miro to convert them to WebM file format, which is just a video format that will play in OBS and other software that is just much, much smaller in capacity and doesn't take as much GPU to actually run and process and stream. So it relaxes on your video and doesn't cause your computer to have to drain as much. And then here are the overlays that we were talking about. I've got a couple of different ones set up. This one is with a chat. So down here is a little chat box that I've set up. You can't see it, but if I were to unlock it, you could see right here, that's the actual chat box right there. That's invisible, it's transparent. And so when people start to chat, it pops up in there. I used to have a gray background, then I took the gray background off just because I'm trying to not have 50,000 things. So the more things you put here in these sources, the more sources you add, the more power it's going to take from your computer to do them. So let me show you how to do a new source. Let me show you the rest of my scenes. I do one with no chat at all, in case there's nobody on the chat with me. I don't have to take up space for that. I have a full cam, right? It's a little weird transition that happens there. This is my full camera, just in case I want to chat with people. And then my Be Right Back scene, this intermission. I usually do these towards the end of my stream whenever I'm transitioning out and just want to show some final moments of stuff. And then finally my outro scene. So this is just the outro movie. When this plays, it's not on loop. It fades to black, and then I turn the stream off. Let me show you how to do a brand new one. So we're going to do a new scene collection. Call it test. All right, so this is what it looks like. It's just all blank. You'll have a blank scene. You can add more scenes. So scene 2, scene 3, right? You can add as many scenes as you want. And this is just as many transitions as you want, as many setups as you want. You just may want an opening video, your overlay, and an outro video. You may just want starting soon, an overlay, and an outro. Whatever it is that you want, you set those scenes up here, as many as you need. Then when you're ready to actually start the scene, you need to add some things. Well, the first thing you got to add is your actual capture card. How do I add the actual card? So depending on your setup, it may be slightly different. For me, with MacBook and Streamlink, I have to use NDI source, which comes with the software that you have to download for MacBook so that it actually captures the capture card. You'll add it, OBS link right there. I want to use the highest bandwidth. I always network to source timing. You can allow hardware acceleration or not. I do not. And then I keep everything else normal. I put this to full. I leave it on 709. I leave that, it's safe, and then I hit OK. And then we should see the stream link go ahead and connect here. And there we go. So now you might do your slightly different. You might actually not need to because you might not have a Mac. Actually, it's video. I'm sorry. It's video capture, not display capture. And then your Elgato would pop up in there. So right now it's just my 2 cameras that pop up in there. So you could add those. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add a camera. So let's say we wanted to use our, face cam, the one that comes built in. So this is the one right in front of me. We'll add that. You can resize it. You can do whatever you want with it. You put a cool little box. You can make that either in After Effects if you want a cool little animation. You can buy there's free animations, all kinds of stuff. If you have no money, there's zillions of free stuff to make your stream look superb. Now you can customize it and start to learn how to do that. But if you're like, I just want free stuff, I don't want to learn how to do all this, I don't want to do all that, just do your homework. Within a day, you will have more stuff than you can shake a stick at. So I encourage you to go get that. I'm going to go ahead and take that off because it's weird and it's just looking right at me at a weird angle, and I don't like that. Then you want to add your mic. You're going to come to Audio Input Capture. You would name it whatever you want to name it. You would find your mic. Again, this is my second mic, not the first one that I showed you, but this is my second Yeti X, the one I'm currently using. And you would just hit the Yeti X and hit OK, and bam, it's right down here. You can see it recording. It is super, super duper easy. Now, again, my NDI source actually takes in all the audio. So from my PlayStation, so that's the stuff that you see moving around there and making noise. That's the actual audio coming from the PlayStation. So if I were in a party chat, that's where that would be. And then if you want to just add an image, if you want to create an overlay, you would just go to Add Image. You would find your PNG wherever you put it. I try to keep my stuff pretty organized. So I have like photo editing files, logos. Here's all of my stuff, right? And let's just say I want to add our Grown Folks logo. It's a PNG image. Bam. I can move it around, clear background. I can resize it. I can do whatever I want with it. If you have an animated logo, you can create a WebM file. Let me show you how to do that. So we're going to go add media source. I'm going to show you what a WebM file would look like. So you'll see this cool little bounce logo that's going to pop up. So this is a logo that I made the other day, just messing around, making a video. I'm just trying to learn how to do this. I can resize it. If you hold Option, you can cut it and crop it and kind of move it around, do what you want with it, all right? And then if you don't hold Option, you can resize it and do what you want, put it wherever you want, and it'll do its thing. So this is an animated movie video that's been converted to a WebM. It's 5 minutes long. It does that opening animation, then it stays stationary for 5 minutes, and then it loops and repeats. So if I wanted to repeat and loop, I'll just come here, double click. That's the file source, hit loop, and hit OK. And now that's just going to loop. So every 5 minutes, it will replay the video, and that animation will happen in the corner. Just a neat little thing. Again, thinking about Stream Elements and Streamlabs, what I can do, what I'm trying to do, it won't work yet because of a Mac issue, but I want to upload this file to Stream Elements, create a browser source, and now that's a much lighter load than playing a pretty large file still. I think this is still a couple megabytes or gigabytes. And so I would then have that as a browser source. It would give me an HTML or HTTP. I would come in here, add browser, enter that in here. Let me see. I think I've got one here that was saved. I have no clue what's going to pop up here. Nothing, because this is the problem I'm having. But if this were working for me right now, which we're still trying to figure out, that image there would pop up here, but it would actually be on a website somewhere. So it wouldn't be pulling as much power from my computer to process, because it would be pulling that from an HTTP website source. And that's it. You just continue to set up your mic. You don't set up your second mic. You just set up the one so your stream can hear you. Your second mic is for your PlayStation so that your people in your party chat can hear you. You set up all the different sources, and then you can get really detailed, man. You can start adding your chat, which is a browser source. Set that up on Stream Elements. You set that up on Streamlabs. It's easy cheesy, tons of videos. I can make one if needed. You get a HTTP. You plug it in as a browser source, and your chat pops in. So my chat is just a widget there, and I'll blur that out to make sure nobody can get it. But that HTTP, let me pull it back up. I'll just keep it blurred. But that HTTP that goes right there is going to be what pops up. And so anytime it's transparent, you can't see it. It's over here. It's over here in the corner, right? You can't see it. But when people start to chat, it would pop up there. Matter of fact, so I tested it on my test computer on the other side, and you can see as I went to my Twitch back end and just tested the chat, it pops up there. That's how these chats work as a browser source. It's pretty easy. To start it, you can go to settings here. You can actually run under tools an auto configure wizard, and it will auto configure for you. But if you want to fine tune it, there's tons of videos that show you how to fine tune things, but you can just kind of do some of these. I actually don't touch anything on general. I like the dark overlay. I leave everything else alone. With my stream, this is where you put in your stream key. Again, if you don't know how to do that, I'll gladly make a video. That's super easy. Twitch or YouTube has a back end for your channel that shows you all the creator tools, and one of those is a stream key. So it gives you this long number. You just come into stream either on OBS or either on Elgato Capture Card software. You put in that stream key. When you hit stream, it uses that stream key to send to your channel over on Twitch or YouTube. Then I come to output. This is, again, I don't touch a ton of this, but the bit rate that we talked about in the other video, it's here. This you can customize and kind of fit for your internet. Again, Twitch and YouTube kind of cuts it off at like between 3,500 and 4,500, I think is what I understand. So I keep mine at 4,000 because my internet can handle it. CPU usage. This is one of the key factors to really improve your stream. If you have a pretty low computer, you want this to be faster. So ultra fast, super fast, very fast, because this means it's going to use less of your CPU and more of the software to actually process everything that's going on. And that's going to lend you to some quirky things, some maybe audio popping, some maybe bad graphics. It really just depends on your setup. I usually run very fast or faster. I just switched to faster because this is a pretty big computer. And on the videos that I was watching and kind of doing research, everything from below faster, so fast, medium, slow, slower, very slow, placebo, there's actually not that much difference on super high-end computers and gaming PCs. I don't have a super high-end gaming PC. It's just a big MacBook Pro. So I just went with faster. I can still run 1080p. I can still run 60 frames per second. And I'm still tinkering with some things that make it better, but this seems to work the best. The higher the bit rate, the more the colors, the more the flow that you'll get, but you have to have the processing power and the internet speed to run the higher bit rate. I know that I've ran on bit rates of like 1500 before and 2000 before, but those are going to be at 780 and not 1080, or 720, not 1080. I don't mess with profile. I don't mess with tuning. Tuning. I don't mess with rate control. You can tinker with some of these things in the encoder. I don't know that you're going to see a big difference. I think you're just going to see some minor differences, and it's worth just leaving alone. I don't mess with audio a whole bunch, but one of the things I do have is Soundflower. Soundflower is an app that takes everything that comes into your PC and sends it to whatever output source that you want. And so I want it to gather anytime I watch videos. If I use Discord for audio, which I'll use a lot, that audio source is coming into my computer. Soundflower grabs it and sends it to my stream so that I can have those things together. Everybody can hear whoever's on Discord. They can hear me, and it just works really well. So Soundflower, there's videos out there. Google it. go get Soundflower if you have a Mac. Here's my video. I run 1920 by 1080, but if you have a lower PC, you may need to come down to like 1280 by 720. You'll still get a really good stream, but this is what I'm able to run at. I leave everything else the same. I run 60 frames per second because I have the power to be able to do that. It looks just fine at 30 frames per second. It's slightly off, but if you need the processing power, just run at 30. Hotkeys is something that we need to do a separate video about, but basically if you set up a hotkey, whenever you press that combination of keys, it tells the computer to do something. Mine's mainly around our Press Pass Live software. I have what's called an image slideshow, so I have duplicate images of our menu that's on the side that shows the different categories that we talk about. And then I use a hotkey to go from one image to the X, so it looks like that highlight is moving. And really, it's just like 5 different images stacked on top of one another. And that hotkey tells it to go from image 1 to image 2. And that second image just is a different Photoshop image that has a different subject that's highlighted. And it looks like that thing is moving, but it's just a facade, so to speak. Advanced, I leave this alone. I do run 709 color at full. Everything else I don't think I've touched. The format I haven't touched. It's the MV12. All the research that I found said that I should be running this, and so that's what I run. So those are my settings. Everything else I think I've covered. If I've missed something or you want to dig in deeper, this is a rabbit hole that you can fall in and not recover from. There are so many things that you can do with this program. There's so many things doors that this opens up when it comes to streaming. Endless opportunities, endless things that you can do, and just have fun with it, man. Throw yourself to it and start playing with it. Start simple, kind of build from there. But this should get you started. OBS is an amazing program. If you have the power to be able to run it, you might as well run OBS. So go try out OBS. Let's see you get some streams up. I hope this has helped. If I left something out, feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know how I can help you, and we'll make sure that we get you everything that you need. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your week. Peace.